Hey everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon everyone. Good to see all you guys here, and today we're back here on another Friday stream after not making it here last Friday. Today we're gonna finish up our island hopping tour here in the Caribbean. Great to see you guys here. We're back here in the island of Nevis. So we're going to be doing our second trip to the island hopping. We're going to finish up the rest of it today. So we're going to be going down all throughout the Caribbean, and I hope you guys are doing well today. So let's go over our flight plan for today's trip, courtesy of our little nav map. So this is going to be our flight plan for today. So we are first going to head out through the island of St. Nevis. We're going to visit Vance Winkworth Armory Airport here in the island of Nevis. Then from here, we're going to take a touch and go at Osborne International Airport here in Montserrat. So we're going to make a touch and go here at Osborne International, Tango Romeo Papa Golf. Then from here, we're going to go ahead and check out VC Bird International on the main airport of Antigua, right outside the city of St. John's. Tango Alpha Papa Alpha. And then from here, we'll be visiting the main international airport of the island of Guadalupe. Located here, Le Raizat Airport. Tango Foxtrot Romeo will be flying over there. And then from there, we're going to make our first full stop of the day at Melville Hall Airport, Tango Delta Papa Delta, on the island of Dominica. And then from here, we'll be flying over the island of Martinique, part of the French Overseas Territories here in Martinique. Tango Foxtrot, located just outside of Fort de France. Then we'll fly over the island of St. Lucia at Hiomora International Airport. Tango Lima Papa Lima, and finally our last full stop landing is going to be our final stop is going to be at the island of St. Vincent at Argyle International Airport, Tango Victor Sierra Alpha. So that is what we're going to be doing on today's stream. So what plane are we going to take for today's trip? We are going to take a plane that is made for these Caribbean island hopping trips. This is what they use a lot for the Caribbean. Yes, you're looking at this right. It is a de Havilland DHC-6 Twin Otter. It's been a while since I took the Twin Otter on stream, but just for guys who want to know what the Twin Otter is, it's a twin turboprop plane made by the folks at de Havilland Canada and later Viking Air. It first flew back in 1969 on May 20th. It has been in production over almost 1,000. There are probably over 1,000 made so far. It is very popular thanks to its tricycle undercarriage, STOL capabilities, and twin turbo engines. Made it a very successful commuter airliner. You can see around 18 to 20 passengers, and it's been popular for cargo, medevac, and even as a parachute plane as well. But these planes can operate nearly anywhere from the snowy and tundra of Canada's north to the hilly and mountainous terrain in the Himalayas to the beachside land here in the Caribbean. This plane can do it all. There's nothing that Twin Otter cannot do. I mean, it can go to a cruise. It has a cruise speed of around 180 knots. And it can have a range of about 800 nautical miles, and it can go all the way up its max ceiling of 25,000 feet. The Twin Otter is absolutely perfect for this Caribbean, this beautiful trip across the Caribbean. It is absolutely perfect for this Caribbean flight today. So good to see you guys. Let's get back into the cockpit of this Twin Otter. Let's see if Viper remembers what to do here. Everything's pretty good. It's been a while, so let me go ahead and check. Fuel selector's normal. All of it looks good. Position light will be turned on. There's the position light. Powered heat generators, flaps up. fuel levers off. Put the propellers. The propeller levers are right here. So they're fully forward. Power levers, we're going to put them on 10 right here. Ignition, it's already set to normal, and we turn on the battery. So the battery will be turned on. Master switch on. So everything looks good. Fuel quantity is about 25. We put 85% into the tanks. Stars at center. We turn on the left aft boost pump. I'm gonna turn that on. We then engage the starter. So we're gonna turn to the left engine. And we're going to go ahead and turn on the fuel lever on. And the engine looks good. And that's left engine's on. And then we do the same thing. We turn on the right aft fuel pump. Same thing. Turn on, and we just do the same thing for the right. And we do the same thing for the right engine. And we do the same thing for that engine too. So both engines look quite good. So both engines look good. We now have, okay, they're now on. After we start, we're gonna turn on the generators. We're gonna turn on the 2 generators. Light left, lights out. We're gonna set the compass and gyros. We're gonna turn on the anti-collision lights. There are anti-collision lights all over. Strobe lights and anti-collision. And then we're gonna go ahead and set up the flight plan. I'm gonna set the GPS up, so it'll take me a bit of a second or two to get everything ready to get going. E. Okay. E. Tango Alpha. Not Bravo. Alpha. Yes, airport. That. Tango Foxtrot. Foxtrot. Basically, all of it starts with T, so it'll be pretty easy. L. There we go. And that is going to be at the flight plan. There it is. I completed our flight plan. And once we do that, we're going to go ahead and set our cruise altitude for the journey. We're going to be at 3,000 feet for this entire journey is the max altitude. So for the first 4 legs, we're going to be flying at around 1,500 feet. We're going to actually fly 1,500 feet for the first. Oh, we're going to go ahead. Yeah, we're going to go 1,500 feet, and I think we're ready to get taxiing. Set up our flaps. So yeah, we're now coming into the air. Hey, HRG Scoop, good to see you, Scoop. Hope you're doing well. We're flying the de Havilland Twin Otter through the Caribbean. So we're about to take off. If you want to join along with us, Scoop, we are at the Southeast Asia server, and here's our route for today. We're going to be doing 2 full stop lanes. We're going to just fly over a couple of airports until we make our stop here. So we're going to go ahead and turn left. I'm doing okay, getting ready to work. You're getting ready to go to work on my car, otherwise I would. Oh, no worries. No worries. We have Simon 773 with us in the Twin Otter. So we're going to go ahead and take off. Good luck working on the car. I bet maintenance is very important when you take care of automobiles. So we're going to go ahead and she's going to get taken off herself. The Twin Otter can take off at really short distances. You'll be surprised how sure you can actually take off here in the mighty Twin Otter. You'll be quite surprised at how you can do it with the Twin Otter. So we're just going to do some circling around. We're not going to go full power. We go around 75, 76. We're going to go full power. This thing has so much power, it's not funny. 700 feet, 800. There's Simon as well. So everything's looking good. Yes. So we're going to go here, nav mode, and we are going to go 500 feet per minute. Yeah, thanks. With this car, I need all the help I can get, LOL. So what kind of car do you have, Scoop? Because I bet if it's an older car, yeah, it probably needs all the help if it's an older one. It probably does need quite a bit of help for sure. $2013 Fiat. Oh, yeah, it's about 10 years old. Man, what a beautiful day here at Nevis. So we just took off here from Nevis Airport. Oh my goodness, Twisted Cane 2 with the follow. Thank you so much, Twisted Cane 2. I hope your day's going well. Welcome on in, guys. I hope you're doing well. So we're flying our way through the Caribbean in the de Havilland Twin Otter today. We're going to be heading through the rest of the Leeward Islands. This includes Montserrat, Antigua, Guadalupe, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent. So we're doing that today, Twisted Cane. If you're interested, feel free to join us here at, we just took off Tango Kilo Papa November. So the first island we're visiting here, we're visiting Montserrat is our first island we're visiting. Some information about this island. Montserrat's part of the British Overseas Territories. it has been nicknamed the Emerald Isle of the Caribbean because the coast resembles the coastal Ireland of its geography, and much of the ancestry of its inhabitants come from Ireland. So it's been around since the British first took it. In 1600s is when the first Irish claim here, originally being part of France, but later became a British colony. And they grew quite a few crops, but one of the most interesting things about Montserrat was in 1995, the previously dormant volcano, the Soufriere Hills volcano in the southern part of the island, became active, and it destroyed Montserrat's capital of Plymouth, which was originally the capital of Montserrat. And 2/3 of the island's population is actually forced to flee to the United Kingdom. And as a result, the population is now only 4,000 people as of 2019, which is pretty tragic to say the least. But yeah, that volcano really destroyed the island of Montserrat for sure, especially that Plymouth had an old church that dated back to the 1600s as well. But the issue was that volcano, its old capital was just buried in just ash. It's a really strange setup. I had never seen it work anything like a Ninja before. I wish I lived close to Scruffy. Yeah, Scruffy Tame's an auto mechanic. He might be able to be a better help than I would be. He would be a much better help for me than Shore. So in terms of geography-wise, the island's about 25 miles southwest of Antigua, which is going to be the next one after this one, and it also is not far from the island of Nevis, just 30 miles northwest, which is where we took off from. But of course, its tallest point on the island is the Soufriere Hills, which is the highest point. Is one of the highest points in the island, at around 3,002 feet. However, its current height is now 3,440 feet. So, as you can see here, we could see the volcano up there. In fact, things are bad that the entire southern half of the island is literally exclusion. No one's allowed to travel here. So there's that. It's also got some unique endemic wildlife. It's home to a few pretty rare species, including the critically endangered giant ditch frog, or known as locally as the mountain chicken, we found here on the islands of Montserrat and Dominica. Then it's also home to the national bird, the Montserrat oriole. Well, it can be found here on the island. And you can find the Montserrat gallowop, which is a lizard. So you can find them here. It's got tropical rainforest, and a lot of its economy is now limited to gas generators and income and property taxes as well. So that's how we are doing economically. Again, lava was devastated by that volcano eruption. It completely destroyed a lot of the island. So we have Simon 3773 is flying with us. Good to see you, Simon. Hope you're doing well. Like I said, we're not going to go too fast. We're going to stick around 160 knots. We're going to check out each of these islands. But I said the water condition look like this. It's beautiful today. Beautiful water conditions for a flight of this type. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well as always. I know today's Friday, which means we got the weekend coming up. So my plans is we're going to I'm probably gonna go out with my parents for some dinner tonight, and then I got some more stuff working for my volunteering position, and then more importantly, and then Sunday stream, we got a pretty long flight coming up from Singapore to back into Borneo, Malaysia, Kinabalu, which would be pretty nice. We get to go back to Malaysia. So I do want to talk about some. Hey, good to see you, Simon. Yes, I appreciate you flying along with me today, Simon. Thank you for coming along. So for some of the information that's coming along today, so for some MSFS news I do want to talk about. Here's some news. There's been quite a few things since my last stream I do want to talk about. There's been a couple of news things that just came around since the last stream on Wednesday. So World Update 13 has just been announced, which is going to be pretty crazy. So there's going to be a couple of really huge, some really big news. First, it is World Update 13, which is, hold on one second, I got a bot to take care of. There's one. There. Sorry about that. It was a bot. Sorry. But World Update 13, I thought it was going to be either Poland or the rest in Europe, or a lot of people say South America. However, it turns out World Update 13 was something I was actually surprised, was Oceania, which is going to be really interesting that we're going to get a World Update into Oceania. So we're going to get, but it's not just Oceania, and that includes Hawaii, which is awesome. We got a Hawaii World Update. That's great. Hawaii got a World Update. I'm just waiting for Alaska. But we have Hawaii is going to come here, which I think is awesome because Hawaii is a beautiful area. There's all sorts of islands around Polynesia and Micronesia. But here's one more thing I was not expecting. Antarctica is going to get some update love. Yes, Antarctica. I can't believe that we're getting an Antarctica World Update. I mean, that is something I have never even expected to ever get Antarctica. And they're going to include 14 new airports. And they got some new wonders to build, like they got stuff from Midway Atoll, New Caledonia, Micronesia, Indonesia, and Easter Island are getting some new world updates, but they're going to come out with 14 airports. Here's the 14. We have Nusa Cephei Airport in the Solomons. We have 3 new strips in Papua New Guinea, which is going to be a lot of fun for all you bush pilots who want to do things in Papua New Guinea, PNG. Then we're going to get Atatuki Airport in Cook Islands. Bora Bora is going to get an airport, and Moray are both going to be in French Polynesia. Then Kona Airport in Hawaii. Kona is all the way in Hawaii, by the way. So Kona's getting a new airport. Then there's Moki Airport in Micronesia. That's getting an airport. A couple of Micronesia airports, and Easter Island's going to get its own airport, which I think is pretty cool. So those are the 14 airports mentioned, plus Antarctica. I wish they would have a new strip in Antarctica. That would be really cool to have a handcrafted one in Antarctica. But hey, that's a very cool world update that's going to come up. I'm pretty excited for this one. I think, again, I was expecting something else, but hey, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that region. I think it's beautiful. I would love to see new data on Papua New Guinea. That would look beautiful. Then, for all you guys who want Flight Sim Expo, we have huge news. Asobo and Microsoft are attending Flight Sim Expo 2023, which is that's huge news. I mean, I know we were at PNG and Orbex, but to see Microsoft itself coming into it, I think that's enormous news. For Flight Sim Expo, Microsoft's going to be attending. That's going to be crazy. That's hold on 1 second. We got it. There's the airport. I'm going to just do a touch and go landing at. Here's our airport. Let me go ahead and pull this down a little bit, and we're going to get ready for flaps. We're going to go ahead and get to our first landing. We're going to do our touch and go landing here at Osborne. So we're going to go ahead. Yeah, this baby can land anywhere. There's nothing this Twin Otter can't land. The first land of the day. You get stopped real quick. So here's our first landing at Osborne International Airport. Yes, it's about 1,900 feet. I'm not kidding. It is a pretty short strip. So we're gonna go ahead and get the... Hey Martel, good to see you, Martel. It's been a while since I've caught you on my stream, Martel. Good to see you. Happy Friday to you. So we're gonna get some pretty big stuff. We just landed here. We just did touch and go at the island of Montserrat. We're heading to our next island of Antigua, so that's gonna be our next stop. But I'm just going over a few of the news from Microsoft Flight Sim. So, so the next news is we got a new helicopter, the Airbus H125, and Conan already did 2 releases previously. They're pretty good. Again, I'm not a chopper pilot, but the H125 I heard is really, really good. From what I've heard, again, it's expensive, but I know Conan's made some great choppers for the sim, and I'm glad we're going to get some good helicopters for the sim. So they did multiple versions. They can take on land and water with floats. It's VR ready. It's definitely a very, very solid plane helicopter. Not plane helicopter as well. Like I said, I don't fly chopper. How about what? Probably another highly anticipated add-on. Oh, hello, Coaster Royalty. Let me get a shout out for Coaster Royalty's channel. Like I said, thank you for the raid yesterday. As always, but check out his channel as well. So we're flying to the Caribbean today on the Aerosoft Twin Otter. It's still one of my favorite bush planes. It's definitely still one of my favorite bush planes. It could do anything you want. You can take off from short distances. You can land basically anywhere in the Twin Otter. It's just such a versatile plane. But we're going over a little bit of the news as well. Then for Black Square, they came out with another anticipated plane, the Baron, the analog Baron. They've done plenty of overhauls before. They did the Caravan, the King Air, and the Bonanza. And now they come out with the twin-engine Baron. With its failure systems, along with engine simulation, as well, and they can do all sorts of things, tons of customization as well. And I mean, I've heard amazing things about the analog Baron. It's great. The only issue with it is the Baron's actually a you can only get the plane for those if you have Deluxe and Premium Deluxe, which I do have. But I mean, I know it sucks that you can't get this for standard, but that's what they made the Bonanza for. But I bet if you love flying the Baron, this would be a great add-on. So definitely a great choice if you like a more realistic plane. Hello, Dougal. Good to see you, Dougal McTavish. Nice to see you here, Dougal. We're just going over a bit of the news. So I just talked about World Update 13 earlier. Here. So we talked about that a little bit in the Conan. And then we got a new expansion. Yes, the Mad Dog. Now they came out with the ND83 and 88 expansion, which adds 2 new variants of the ND series made by the highly realistic Fly the Mad Dog from Leonardo Software. So the ND83 is the long-range variant of the ND82 with increased capacity and more powerful engines, but the most interesting is the ND88, which is the last variant of the family with its modernized cockpit, with its modern avionics compared to a lot of the traditional cockpits. And you can get this available in Sim Market. You get accurate engine dynamics, fuel balance system, and updated cockpits as well. And it's for 25 euros, which is not actually that bad. Yes, again, the Leonardo Mad Dog was expensive at 75. But at least the expansions are, you get 2 planes for the price of 1. And the best part, unlike PMDG, if you already own the expansion for P3D, it is completely free for Microsoft, which I think is great. That is a great thing to have as well. For free, I think it's great. They also did a couple of fixes for their Mad Dog. So overall, I think the Mad Dog's aging to be quite good now. Quite a good airliner as well. I probably want to grab that Mad Dog at some point. I mean, I have enough in credits to get the thing for free, so not a big deal. And finally, the last bit of news is from PMDG. With WASLib now in the sim, PMDG is preparing to launch the 737 series to Xbox by the end of April, and that is a game changer for Xbox pilots. I mean, everyone knows how good the PMDG 737s are, and also the DC-6 as well. I mean, it's going to be great that these planes are finally coming to Xbox. It's been long overdue, and I think for the airliner crowd on Xbox, this is probably like Christmas for them to finally get these airliners. No, I get it, the A310 is great, but for a lot of Boeing fans who love the 737, that's amazing news. Again, he's going to be very careful with the product, but this is a huge milestone for PMDG. I think that is great. That's great news, and I think good things happen. I do really like add-ons that give cross-platform discounts. Yes, and the Mad Dog is like that. Again, the Mad Dog 75 euros has probably turned me off a little bit for the Mad Dog, but I do think it's great. But yeah, that is the news for today, as well. So the island we're visiting next is Antigua. It's also known as Waladi by the native population. It's part of the country of Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua in the comes from the Spanish word for ancient, named after an icon in the Seville Cathedral. 22,000 people live on this island with in the capital of St. John's. Other leading populations include Alla Saints and Liberta. And a lot of cruise ships do like coming here to Antigua. It was part of originally the Spaniards, but it became part of Britain. It became an England colony back in the 17th century. It did have some slave history with sugar canes, and it became one of the most grueling crops slaves had to cultivate, which is harvesting cane sugar required backbreaking days, working the plantations. However, one of the big parts of this as well, in terms of tourism, is a big deal. It's home to its airport, VC Bird Airport, hosted by several major airlines like Virgin Atlantic, British Airways, United Airlines, and more. Also, it's a big thing, but also Antigua is known for online gambling, one of the first nations to actually legalize online gambling. And there's quite a few residents that actually have lived here in the Highlands. Some people were actually residents. Viv Richards, a West Indian cricket legend. There's a whole stadium named after him. The CEO of IBM actually has is a resident here. And more. So that is the island of Antigua. So we have Simon 773 flying with us. So we're gonna go ahead and grab pictures. Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, if you guys want to, I do have a Discord, by the way. So if you guys want to check out my Discord and check out everything that goes on for my streams, I do have a Discord link. So feel free to join it if you guys want to. So welcome to the island of Antigua. So yeah, basically this island is the bigger of the two islands. Further north is the island of Barbuda. And our airport we're going to be doing a touch and go at is VC Bird International. It's Tango Alpha Papa Alpha is our main airport. It was originally named Coolidge Airfield, named after Captain Hamilton Coolidge. But then it reopened as a civilian airport in the 1950s, and they do flights all across the Caribbean, North American, and yes, even Europe. Yes, British Airways does fly from London to here. Virgin Atlantic and British Airways, for example, fly from London. WestJet from Toronto. American Airlines from New York. But yeah, they do quite a few flights from all across the Caribbean as well. Just something to let you guys take a note at. So this here is the capital, St. John's. Here is the, and it's got a port big enough you can put cruise ships. Hey, PDM X Poppy with the follow. Thank you so much, PDM Poppy. So again, we're gonna do a quick touch and go at VC Bird. Just a quick touch and go. We're not gonna do any full stop lands until we reach to Melville Hall Airport. So we're just gonna do some touch and goes some bit, so we can say we visited these islands here in the Caribbean. So thank you so much for joining along, guys. I am your tour guide. So we're gonna go here. But yeah, this Twin Otter, one of the great things about the Twin Otter is, again, you don't need a long runway, which is perfect for the Caribbean, because there are quite a few airports in the Caribbean that are really short. I mean, I'm looking at you, St. Bart's and Saba, which have really, really short runways. So having that ability to be such a STOL plane, I think is perfect for such a thing. I'm loving the interest. Insider tip, they don't actually pronounce the name, they don't pronounce the T in your name. Ah, gotcha. Thank you, PDM. Gotcha, they don't pronounce it. Antigua and Barbuda. So there we go, we stop. And then we take back off. Antigua. Okay, Antigua. Oh yeah, it's Antigua and Barbuda. Gotcha. So we're back off again. Set the autopilot. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, Antigua and Barbuda. Go. Yeah, because there's Antigua, which is in Google. There's Antigua and Barbuda. They don't pronounce the U. Yeah, Antigua. Got it. Antigua. Okay, now once we take off back from Antigua, we're gonna head to one of the French overseas islands, and that's Guadeloupe. Um, this is Guadeloupe, or Guadeloupe, I believe. Yeah, Guadeloupe. This is Guadeloupe. This archipelago is got 4 islands in it. We're visiting the big island here. Is where we're going to be visiting. We're going to visit its regional capital of Basse-Terre, located on its own island. It's been inhabited by indigenous people back as 3000 BC by the Arawak people, but the first European to see it was Christopher Columbus in 1493. But the first people to actually set foot in the island was under the French explorer Pierre Belin de Esnambrook, and the Company of American Islands in 1635 settled here under the direction of Charles Leonard de la Hove and John Duplius de Olsonville. They actually were the people who did it, and it became a pretty big island here for the French, mainly as a sugar plantation colony for sugar cane. Guadeloupe is actually got 12 islands as well. The 2 main islands are Basse-Terre and Grande-Terre, to the which forms a butterfly shape that gives it its unique shape. The highest point is the active volcano La Grande-Soifrière, which is the highest peak in the entire Les Antilles at 4,800 feet. And as a result, this island's pretty much volcanic. Quite many islands here too. You're forgiven for the English butchering of those French names. You're saying the right for the country name. Yeah, I get it. French and English. I mean, the thing about French and English is that a lot of modern English is based off French, because back in the olden days, I believe in the medieval period, a lot of English nobles actually learned French and spoke it, and eventually that gets passed down to the common English folk, and that is actually true. I mean, they use words straight from French, I kid you not. So that's actually how it is. I try to get these pronunciations right, because every place we're visiting is gonna get some confusion. It's also home to mahogany, chestnut trees, and mangrove swamps as its flora. And some mammals, you can find a few terrestrial mammals like bats and raccoons that are native to the islands. A few terrestrial mammals are native to the islands. Most of them have been introduced to these islands, like bats and raccoons. You can also find the Javan mongoose present on the island as well. A lot of people brought these animals in. And they had about 50 to 70% of snakes and lizards on the island became extinct due to the European colonists brought in mammals like cats, mongooses, rats, and raccoons, which the native animals have no defense versus those animals. Much of the economy of Guadeloupe is dependent on tourism, agriculture, light industry, and services, and it mainly relies on mainland France for subsidies and imports. A large amount of cruise ships do visit the cruise port at Pointe-à-Pitre. Pointe-à-Pitre. How do I pronounce this? I'm sorry. Pointe-à-Pitre. Pointe-à-Pitre. Which is the headland of Peter. Oh, Pointe-à-Pitre. Great. Yes, the French was. Hey, I'm trying to do the best I can with these words. The tradition for agriculture on the island, the traditional sugarcane that's usually grown here is replaced by other crops, including eggplant. Buena is native to the New World tropics, which is basically like silkberry, Guramon squash, yam, gourd, plantains, coca, jackfruit, and many flowers are now used for agriculture. And Guadalupe is known for quite a few sports. Football is always popular around here, and there are several major footballers, including French football legend Marius Paul Tresor, who is one of the greatest defenders of all time, and one of the greatest players to ever play for France. Ronald Zubar and his younger Stefan Rubar. And more. Basketball is also popular here too, producing a few NBA players, but mainly the big one being Rudy Gobert. So that's just a little bit about the island we're going to be visiting. That's just a little bit about some. You're doing great. Ah, thank you. Like I said, language is very interesting. Yeah, that's why if you ever go to my streams, PDM, you should definitely check out my Around the World streams. Our DC3 on Sundays. For my schedule, we got our DC3 flight. On Saturdays, not Saturdays, Sundays, and one of the things I do talk about on my slides is the different languages. So, for example, I did slides on different languages. For example, one DC3 stream, I do a thing about Greek. The other one, I may do a little bit about Arabic, or Hindi, or even Thai language. But basically, I put those for a reason, because I want to talk about all about the places we fly, and that is something I've done for all my streams. It's pretty crazy. I got pictures and everything. But it's a great way to explore all the places we get to check out. So that sort of stuff is what I like to do. Hey, and that's just the way I am. So. The capital, one of the big, the second most popular city in the island is Pointe-à-Pitre. Was settled in the 17th century. It is very popular as a cruise tour stop. A lot of cruises like to set port here. It's also home to the island's main international airport. Tango, Foxtrot, Romeo will be due to touch and go here, but this is a very busy airport for the Caribbean. 2 million passengers went through here in 2019. And apparently, and it does have one runway, about 10,000 feet, and it can take all sorts of planes, from small, like Twin Otters or other Caribbean planes, and it can take planes, I think, about as big as an Airbus E380, I kid you not. Yes, this thing can actually handle the Airbus E380, which, by the way, if you guys don't know, it is the largest airliner ever built. But they do flights all across the Caribbean, like Dominica, Barbados, St. Bart's, St. Martin. They also do flights into Canada, to Montreal. And of course, they do flights they even do flights to France, like Paris-Orly Airport. For example, Paris-Orly does flights from around there. Miami, Condor does seasonal flights, charter flights to Frankfurt. and even New York. So they do quite a few international flights from that airport. So pretty cool stuff. Oh, thank you for the subscription to my YouTube. Yeah, my YouTube is actually where I put all my VODs for my videos. So if you guys want to check out my VODs, on my channel, I have all my VODs from all my streams. I've done DC-3 flights. I've done all my previous series. I include my original series. I worked on all those years ago. I did a baseball series way back when I first started streaming. I've done city tours. I did everything. I did all sorts of content as well. Like I said, I've done a lot of things. Currently doing my big tour in the DC-3 that's on Sundays. However, for 2024, I think the thing I'm planning on is for 2024, I got a big thing. I think the World Tour and all World Tours, I'm planning on doing a Firefly Air Capitals World Tour. We get to visit all the hubs for Firefly Air in this World Tour. We get to fly all the world's capitals and our hubs, including stops to our hubs. So I plan on finding a way to connect. I think I'll plan on starting our headquarters here in Dublin. And we're gonna go from west to east. So we're gonna go start Dublin, back to Bristol, then do a short flight to London, do a flight into Paris, then do a short flight into to Bern, short GA hop to Zurich. But yeah, do a mix between airlines and GA. We're gonna have some flights we're gonna do GA, others we're going to do the airliners. But it's gonna be a really cool world tour. It's gonna be everything I've been wanting to do, which is awesome. And speaking of Firefly Air, this is the main VA I'm a part of. It is the Two-Tone Murphy's own VA, which I am an admin for, by the way. If you want to join a free virtual airline, we have it here. We already got hubs in quite a few awesome places. We've already got hubs in Dublin, Bristol, Zurich, Rio, Tahoe, and Quito. We already got those there. We're not too far from our newest hub. I mean, we're about 1 point. I believe we are 1.2 million more XP away from a new hub. We might get that somewhat shortly. I'm hoping that our next VA hub is going to be somewhere in I'm hoping it's somewhere in Asia, or either Asia, Oceania, or in Africa, Middle East. I'm hoping that might be where I do hub. Yeah, Two-Tone Murphy is a cool personality. He's such a cool guy, but he's not just cool, he's also a very friendly individual to be around. He's fun, but he's a really, really nice dude. Murph is one of my absolute favorites. I mean, he helped me get to streaming too. Like, his community has just been amazing. So here it is. We're about to reach Guadeloupe. So this here to the right, that is the island. This is one of the two islands that make up the big main island of as well. So to the right is Basse-Terre. Actually, this is it's actually not Basse. This is two islands. This is Grande-Terre to the right, and to the left with the more mountainous, that is Basse-Terre. And that's what makes up our island of Guadeloupe. So there it is. So that makes up for Yeah, the growth. Yeah, Turkey would be great. By the way, good to see you, Devil Dude. Yeah, Turkey would be great. Oh yeah, like I said, I hope we do get a Turkey update because I know a perfect hub in Turkey where we could put an airport. If they actually do it, I would love to see a hub at Istanbul. That would be great. It would have destinations in Europe, but also throughout Asia. Like Turkish Airlines, there's a reason they fly so many destinations because Istanbul is perfectly located. Like, I mean, you got Europe, you can easily access Europe, you can easily access all of Asia, and even Africa. It'd be perfect. Yeah, exactly. There's the new Istanbul airport that's not in the center. There's an add-on for it, but yeah, that new airport is that new airport Lima Tango Foxtrot Mike. Yeah, that's the new Istanbul airport that's not in the Sin. But I mean, there's Ataturk Airport, but that's no longer there. But the new Istanbul airport is huge, by the way. The new Istanbul airport is massive. It's actually Europe's busiest airport, and the 13th busiest is at Istanbul. With over 37 million passengers in 2021. Actually, it's now 64 million passengers as of 2022. It actually been revealed 64 million passengers, which is insane. And it's one of the busiest airports for international traffic. In fact, currently now, as of 2022, it's actually now the world's 7th busiest airport. That's insane. 7th. Only behind Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta, Dallas-Fort Worth, Denver O'Hare, Denver International, O'Hare International, Dubai, and LAX. That's pretty crazy. It's freeware and heavy. The name sounds like Terra. Yeah, it's Terra. It's Terra, I believe. It's Terra. So yeah, there's Leia Rosette Airport. So yeah, there's Simon. Oh, that's pretty. Look at the water. No, yeah, I would like to see a Caribbean world update too, like Bahamas, Jamaica. Something like that. So here it is. Man, is this pretty. Man, is this pretty, guys? Oh my goodness. Isn't this a beauty of an island? Oh, this is pretty. Okay. It's Tiara. So yeah, we're gonna fly over this as well. So here's the main international airport. Rosette. is going to let you guys enjoy the scenery. But we're actually going to head our way to our first stop. So we're going to fly over the island country of Dominica. This will be our first full stop of the trip. So Dominica has been around, but the indigenous inhabitants being the Carib people. And Christopher Columbus, when he sailed for Spain, contacted the island on November 1493, and some Spanish colonizers settled here. But it wasn't until 1632 when the French Company of the American Islands, or Compagnie d'Amérique, claimed it for the French. In between 1642 and 1650, French missionary Brandon Breton became the first European regular visitor to the island. And just like it did for Guadeloupe, they set up timber camps and eventually put sugar plantations here as well. And then afterwards, it now became a British colony. For much of the 19th century, it now became a colony for the British. And then it became part of the West Indies Federation for the short union in the 1950s and 60s. But it didn't become independent until 1978, when it became a republic on November 3rd. Dominica is known as the nature island of the Caribbean due to its lush scenery and varied amounts of flora and fauna. It's largely known as covered by rainforest, and it's home to the world's second largest hot spring to be found here on the island, Boiling Lake. And Boiling Lake itself was actually first recorded sighting was in 1870 by Edmund Watt and Henry Alfred Nichols, two Englishmen who were working in the island at that time. And it turned out that they measured the temperature of the boiling lake to be around from 180 to 197 degrees along the edges, or 82 to 92 degrees Celsius for the island. But they could not measure the temperature at the center where it was boiling. And the depth is apparently said to be greater than 195 feet deep. So apparently this lake also resides in a large sinkhole like basin as well. And apparently some people have actually died at the lake. In 1900, two members of a three-man hiking party died at the lake when they became asphyxiated by the sudden release of volcanic gases and fell to their death. And the adventure filmmaker George Coronis became the first person to ever cross the boiling lake from above suspended ropes. And it was filmed for the TV series Angry Planet. So yeah, that was pretty crazy to think about of a lake. It's pretty hot. The only lake hotter than this is Frying Pan Lake, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, but there's a boiling lake on the island. The island also has several protected areas, including Cabrit's National Park. And you can find the island's national bird, the Cicero parrot, which is the national bird of the forest, and it's indigenous to the national forest land. It's also home to 4 species of snakes and 11 species of lizards, and it's the last major stronghold of the lesser Antillean iguana. You can also find over 195 species of birds found here as well. And you can also see lots of cetaceans around the seas as well. And here's an interesting fact about the island of Dominica. Much of the Walt Disney film Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest was actually shot on location here in the island, as well as some shooting for the third film at World's End. It was actually filmed here in the island of Dominica. And of course, cricket is very popular here on the island, and is part of the West Indies cricket team as well. And West Indies cricket team is a very successful cricket team as well. They've been quite successful at it. Include two Cricket World Cup championships in 1975 and 1979. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Talk about. Yep, it's the largest sport in the region. Yeah, cricket's very popular here in the West East Indies. That's correct. Cricket's very popular here. And you wonder... Yeah, cricket's very popular in the region. That's... Like, because cricket was spread all over from the British Commonwealth nations. Cricket was seen as that sport that did a lot of the British Commonwealth eras. I mean, including here in the Caribbean. There's cricket all over Australia, New Zealand. Australia and New Zealand were big on cricket. And of course, the former British Raj lands, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan are all huge, and Sri Lanka. Like, anywhere the British went, they brought cricket with them. That's... And yes, Ireland even has one too. So, yeah, that's how that sport came to be. Yes, British. Yes, the Brits brought everything, basically. So the airport we're visiting here today, where our first stop is Douglas Charles Airport, also known as Melville Hall. Used to be known as Melville Hall. Tango Delta Papa Delta is the main airport in the island. It's been around since 1944, and it was named after Melville Hall. Originally was named after Melville Hall, but it was renamed to Douglas Airport in 2014 to honor the Prime Ministers Rosie Douglas and Pierre Charles, the two Prime Ministers of Dominica. But it's actually served all sorts of planes. In the 60s, it actually operated Douglas DC-3s, operated here. There were also turboprop planes from the leeward with the Hawker Siddeley Aegis 748s from Antigua, Port de France, Pointe-à-Pitre, in St. Lucia. But of course, historically, there were actually jet services operated here. Two airlines actually offered jet service back in the days, according to the official airline guide. We had Carib Express operated BA-146 jets from Barbados, St. Kitts, and St. Lucia, and Liberty Airlines, where they actually flew the 727 as well. But right now, there has been some commercial jetline service. American Airlines now does twice weekly services from Miami, which began here in 2021. They flew Embraer 175s. And right now, American Eagle often does, which is the regional stuff of American, does flights with the CRJ-200s. Flight Always does the Fokker 70, Inter Caribbean Airways with the E-145, and Sunrise, and so is that as well. But apparently, the largest airliner to ever fly the airport was back in 2020 when an Avionica A320neo landed here with medical supplies, which is the largest airliner to ever land at the airport. But apparently, other planes land here. MD-80 once landed here for the Danish Air Transport, and even a USAF Boeing C-17 Globemaster. Pretty cool stuff. Bless you. Wait, yeah, rest in peace, Carib Express. Yeah. So we're about 9 miles out from our first stop here into here. So we're going to make some predictions. So we're going to make exclamation point predict, type in a negative number, and see how good I can get this landing. And predict the landing. Like I said, I'm not going to make it truly better, but I'm going to try and get a good landing with this. So I'm actually made a change of plans. If you guys remember sea approach, yeah, we go for approach from the sea. So we're gonna go from the sea and make an approach from there. So I've actually made a change of plans. So actually, if you guys remember what I said on Wednesday, I said the next one will be from Tel Aviv to Baku. I actually made a change. We're not going to be doing that next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is going to actually be from Tampa to LaGuardia, and that's because I'm gonna be showing off my first ever achievement for Firefly Air. So I'm gonna be doing this achievement flight with you guys. And we'll be a very special achievement, and it will be for to prepare for opening day of baseball that's going to come out soon. So I wanted to do something in honor of my original series. Yes, we're going to take the Yankees back to New York. So we're going to go ahead, round, put the engine in the back. We got what a beautiful island here. And what a beautiful island. Yeah, there's a reason why millions of tourists love visiting the Caribbean. You have some absolutely stunning scenery. And yeah, I'm glad I took the Twin Otter out here today. Like, I don't think there would be a better plane for this Caribbean trip than taking a Twin Otter. Like, it just feels right to take this thing across. So we're gonna go ahead, 2 flaps. We don't need to have the full flaps. We got plenty of runway for this thing. Like the Twin Otter does not need runway. This. Oh. That was great. Great landing. Very, very good. So welcome to Melville Hall Airport. This will be our first stop for today. First full stop. So we're here at Melville Hill Airport in the beautiful Caribbean island of Dominica. Absolutely stunning piece of island scenery. We're going to go ahead and put the parking brake on. And there's Simon. Nicely done. So this is our first stop of the trip. I'll be back. So I'm going to be taking a quick restroom break, and then we'll be heading back for leg number 2 for our second flight. We're going to do part 2 of our flight coming up real soon, just about minutes. So I'll be heading right back. I got a bathroom break. Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yes, I do have a Be Right Back stream. I forgot to turn it. Whoops. So we're back here again. So we're going to be going. We're back. So. So I'm back here, so let's go ahead and finish up the rest of the journey for today. So let's finish up the rest of it, shall we? We got one more, we got a couple more flights. First, we'll be flying over Martinique at La Lamentin Airport, right outside of Fort-de-France. Then from here, we'll go through the island of St. Lucia. And finally, from St. Lucia, we'll be making our way to our final stop here at St. Vincent. So that would be. So let's get back to our thing. Turn off the autopilots. Do not turn off the blocking brake. We're gonna go ahead. And we're gonna go. So, yes, I forgot to put that scene up when I left. Yes, I forgot to have that scene up for you guys. I apologize. So, there we go. So we're gonna take off from runway 09. Runway 09 is gonna be our. So we're going to go ahead and take this back up. We're going to get. We're going to put full flaps. Full flaps up. And we're going to take this bad boy through the air. Oh yeah. Go ahead and turn left. Get everything pretty much back and ready. And we see the beauty of this Twin Otter. 40, 60, and we're up. And we're up already. Because you know the Twin Otter has such ridiculous stall performance, you can just ridiculous climb. Autopilot nav mode. We're gonna go up to. Yeah, because this thing can absolutely climb. And I really do mean climb this way up. It has such ridiculous climb power. So thank you guys so much for coming on this Friday stream. It's a great way to kick off the weekend by traveling around the Caribbean. I mean, what better way to kick off the weekend than travel around the many islands here in the Caribbean? So this here is we're going through the rest of Dominica. So we're going to climb up 3,000 feet up. is this island pretty or what? This is... Hey, good to see you, King Lou, 1996. Yes, you absolutely can. Yes, you can absolutely join me on this flight. I'm on the Southeast Asia server. We just took off from Melville Hall Airport, but we're actually heading to Martinique. You can actually take off from Tango Delta Charlie Foxtrot, which we'll get to that airport pretty soon. So you can join with us on Tango Delta Charlie Foxtrot. You can absolutely join me on this flight. Absolutely. You're more than welcome to. Anyone's welcome to join the flight, actually. These are all group flights. We're all welcome to join each other on these flights as well. And maybe a nice rum punch to go with it. Oh, yes. Yeah, give me a pina colada. That's what I want. Give me a good old pina colada with this flight. Where you can have a tropical flight without some pina colada. Yeah, this is the rest of the island of Dominica. And I'm going to lower the engine power a little bit. I'm not want to go too fast. But yeah, this is a beautiful island. Absolutely. Like I said, I would love to visit more of the Caribbean. I'm going to be heading back to the Caribbean in May, early June. I'll be visiting Aruba, Bonaire, along with visiting Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. It's La Ramona and Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. So that should be fun. So if you guys are here for the first time, I do lots of education, flight occasional streams. I may not be known about planes, but I do know about the places we fly. So we're visiting another French overseas possession of France on the island of Martinique. Has been around. It's been part of the French colony since the 1630s. He charted the island. Christopher Columbus charted it back in 1493 during his first voyage. Columbus then later landed on the island on June 15, 1502, after a 21-day passage, and spent 3 weeks there. And the people actually called Christopher Columbus, the indigenous people that he encountered called the island Manatino, and was told by indigenous people of San Salvador that the island was populated by women as well. So apparently that's according to the natives. But the French used this island. In fact, one of the more interesting things about this island was many of the earliest French settlers on the island were actually Huguenots, which are French Protestants. They actually sought religious freedom here on the island. And then Martinique grew as a French colony for coffee plantations, as the French used the islands for to the island was coffee. So they imported workers from India and China in here as well. And then during the 21st and 20th century, the Vichy government of France, the pro-Nazi Vichy government, controlled the island under Admiral Georges Robert. And then they turned the colony in 1946. The French now simply turned it into an overseas department of France. That's a little bit about it. You're currently finding the Islander of Lone Silver, Florida. Nice. I've been to Florida so many times as well. Florida's great. If you've never been down to Florida in real life, I took airboat rides through Florida. I've done, I went around many of the beaches. I visited so many places in Florida. I visited Tampa, St. Petersburg. Got to visit Daytona Beach, the Daytona Motor Speedway, Kennedy Space Center, some of the theme parks. Oh. Oh, King Lou, the airport code is Tango Delta Charlie Foxtrot. We just passed over it. No worries, King Lou. I'm happy to help you out. Like I said, I'm happy to help newer people. If they need help, I'm happy to help whenever I can. The economy on the island, the economy of this island, is around 8.4 billion euro GDP and is very heavily dependent on tourism. Historically, it offered agriculture like sugar and bananas. But tourism is a big deal, but they also grow other crops like pineapples and bananas. And the main international airport that flies out of it is Martinique Aimé Césaire International. They go Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. And they do flights all across the Caribbean. And they handle planes as big as a 747 is here. And they do flights across the Caribbean. They also did to Canada, to Montreal, and also to both of Paris's major commercial airports in Orly and Charles de Gaulle. And they go as far east as Frankfurt, in Rome, on charter flights, and as far south as Sao Paulo, which is, by the way, in Brazil. They do flights above all that as well. And apparently, at 2 occasions, the Concorde actually flew here too. On 2 occasions, have flown from Paris to Martinique Airport. Oh, I see ya. Yeah, mine protects my gaming. Good to see you, Monster Lou. Hello. In the F-18 Hornet. Nice. You're escorting too? Yeah, heard this flying the good old Twin Otter through much of the Caribbean. So here it is. This is the island of Martinique. Here's our island we've been looking for. So if you guys haven't followed yet and are liking the content, smash that follow button. That's a big, it's real weather and quite cloudy. Oh, yeah, the Caribbean can be quite cloudy for sure. But yeah, I have a goal for 600 followers, and King Lou, thank you for the follow. 598. So 598 is our follower. We just 2 away from 600. That's pretty awesome. Dinner time for me. Thank you so much, Dougal. I hope to see you on Merch Stream a little later. I do hope to catch you on Merch Stream later tonight, as well. But thank you so much for coming along. We're going to visit the island of Martinique. Now, we're going to be flying near the capital, Fort-de-France. The capital city of Martinique. It was built back in 1638 was when it was first established. It was named Fort Royal. It was actually changed to Fort-de-France as well, and it became big for its commercial growth, and has made quite a few suburbs back in the 20th century. However, it became really important when in 1902 a volcanic eruption of Mount Pelée, which is the tallest peak around here, destroyed the town of Saint-Pierre. And as a result, it became a very important center for the island of Martinique. You can find a couple of forts on the island, including Fort de Say, along with a botanical garden and a cathedral here as well. Oh yeah, and by the way, Martinique is also home to the oldest French settlement in the Caribbean, Saint Pierre as well. Was originally known as the Paris of the Caribbean as well. But the major reason I talk about that volcano is because that volcano was directly responsible, killed 20,000 people when the volcano. 20,000 people died, and only 3 people survived, which is pretty insane. But it still hasn't been restored back to its former glory, though. And now the town is the seat of its own region as well. What's your airspeed? My airspeed's in the top left corner, so I'm going at an indicated airspeed of 154 knots. My ground speed is 161. So that is my airspeed. If you're wanting to figure that out. So that is how fast we're going. Yeah, like I said, I'm in a slow. Like I said, this is not meant for speed. The Twin Otter is much more known for its bush strip capabilities. Yeah, it's a STOL plane. Yeah, the Twin Otter is a STOL turboprop. It does. I mean, is there anywhere that Twin Otter can't land? Yeah, it's beautiful here in the Caribbean. So right over here to our right is right here, there is Mount Pelee. This is the volcano that ended up destroying the old Paris of the Caribbean. Is right here. But it's got some beautiful areas all throughout the islands. Its coast is absolutely stunning from all the pictures. It's absolutely stunning. And you can find all sorts of flora like antelope lizards, fer-de-lance snakes. It's also got bamboo, mahogany, and West Indian locust trees. Of course, there's also some introduced species, most infamously mongooses. The Indian mongoose was introduced to control snakes, but they preyed upon a lot of the bird eggs and exterminated a lot of the native birds. Man, this is stunning. Look at that flyby, man. Nice done. Hey, good to see you, Ian Fisher. Nice to see you, Ian. Here's a shout out for Ian's channel as well. I hope you're doing very, very well, my friend. So we're touring over the Caribbean. We're doing some more island hopping in the Twin Otter, a plane that's made for Caribbean flights. I mean, that's what they do. There's tons of operators in the Caribbean that fly these things. We earlier on our stream, we started in the island of Nevis. We went to Montserrat, Antigua, Guadeloupe. We just passed. We've been Dominica, and we're now currently going through Martinique. We're still going to go through St. Lucia and St. Vincent. So we only have 2 more islands. After this one, we only got 2 more islands to hop through. Oh, you're about to land the B-13 Clipper. Ah, nice. And that's on I remember that's P3D, which is which is what it is. You're doing it on P3D. Yeah, I remember that when. I know pilots released the B-314, but it had some pretty major issues, though, for its Clipper, which is a real shame, though. But again, I don't want to talk about that too much. Just want to focus on the fly-in. So right here, we're about to fly over Fort de France. This is the capital of the island and its largest city. Again, a lot of the beaches here in Martinique are definitely very, very So some of the things you could do here in Martinique, are some things you can do here on the island. So there is the Jardin de Balata Botanical Garden. There's a Habitat Clement plantation. You can also find historical places about where the slaves worked at and how their way of life was. And of course, there's tons of beaches around the area too. Check out. There's like boat tours, sailing, 4x4 rides, swimming tours with turtles and stuff, and even a foodie tour. So there's quite a few things you could do here in Martinique. But yeah, it's a beautiful place. This island's beautiful. This is very pretty. And right over here is the island's main international airport. This is La Leamington Airport. It's got a 747 docking bay and all that. Sounds like you can do all that in almost every Caribbean island. Yeah, it's a great place to visit. Absolutely. Grab my otter, you'll be in there in 3 seconds. No worries. Yeah, it's a great region to visit. My parents love going there. We go on our cruises in the Caribbean, and it's always been a great place to visit for sure. We visited, like, if you remember, I also visited St. Martin as well about a couple weeks ago. Me and my family went over to St. Thomas and the Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands. And yes, we got to visit St. Martin, which is really, really cool. We got to explore St. Martin. If we ever do go back to the island of St. Martin, we'd probably do some sort of sailing and all that. That would be fun. In May, we'll be heading to the Southern Caribbean with Aruba, Bonaire, which is going to be a lot of fun. There's definitely a few islands I want to visit there as well. And apparently, I'm also got one planned for June, actually for July. Visiting the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and going back to Cozumel. Really, really cool. Cozumel's really a cool place to visit. Yeah, the Caribbean's a great region to visit. So many beautiful places to visit here in the Caribbean. So yeah, guys. Like I said, I'm very grateful to allow this to be the way the weekend's going to start. And I mean, I can't think of a better way to start the weekend. Being here with you guys and doing some flying in the beautiful Caribbean. I mean, you can't think of a more picturesque you can't think of too many other regions that are picturesque. And I'm excited for the world update that's going to come out next month. I believe next month is going to be Oceania. I've already flew through Bora Bora, so maybe next time we probably fly through Vanuatu into Fiji or the Samoas. Or something I haven't done on stream yet was actually fly into Papua New Guinea. I haven't done a whole stream in PNG yet, surprisingly. Yeah, Bora Bora. That's a very stunning region. And that's gonna get a handcrafted airport, by the way, in Bora Bora. It's gonna be really, really cool. Yes, you're currently on a world tour flying over the area, hunting down achievements. Yes, I'm working on getting some achievements. Currently working on the F1 flights for Formula One. The AlphaTauri F1 transport. I've done legs 1 through 5 so far, Devil Dude. Planning on doing leg number 6. I'm gonna probably do a bit more legs tonight. Hopefully get as many of them as I can. My next one for that achievement is going to be going to Kai Tak. That's going to be interesting. Kai Tak, then Naga in the Philippines, then to Indonesia. But it's definitely got some interesting flying coming soon. Uapo, Tahiti, Bora Bora, and Hawaii. Yeah, that's gonna be, it's gonna be great. Hawaii's gonna finally get a world update. I'm hoping Hawaii. I hope Honolulu becomes photogrammetry. That would be great if Honolulu got photogrammetry. That would be awesome. Yeah, I really want Honolulu to have photogrammetry. That would be awesome if Honolulu got photogrammetry. Then flying there would be amazing to fly to Honolulu. That would be awesome. I mean, Kona's gonna get an airport hub. Maybe Kona Airport becomes a new Firefly Air hub. Is Kona? Maybe Kona becomes our new hub in the Pacific. There's also Midway Atoll, I believe, that could finally open up, and maybe do some island hop in the Oceania. That would be really cool. But yeah, I think Oceania's gonna be pretty cool. It was something I wasn't expecting. For sure. Hub? Maybe Oceania gets a hub, I don't know. But it's definitely consideration. Okay, the next island we're going to be visiting today is the island of St. Lucia. Will be right ahead of us is St. Lucia, known as Hewananora, by the natives. The indigenous people first settled here around 400 AD. It became part of the British colony. The island was handed over between the Brits and French, fought over the control of the island for 14 times until the British took full control in 1814. As a result, because of all of it, it was known as the Helen of the West, named after the Greek mythological character Helen of Troy. During the European periods, mainly the sugar industry was a big deal here. As well. During World War II, St. Lucia was involved when a German U-boat sank and attacked and sank 2 British ships in the harbor in St. Lucia during the Battle of the Caribbean in 1942. Universal suffrage is now held in 1951, and St. Lucia joined the West Indies Federation before being dissolved in 1962. Geographically, it has an area of 617 square kilometers. It is very mountainous, particularly the highest point being Mount Jimmy, which is around 3,120 feet. And St. Lucia is home to the only drive-in volcano, the Sulphur Springs, which you can actually drive in to this as well. Much of the economy in St. Lucia is tourism. Tourism is a huge deal in the island. There's tons of resorts you can find here, like Ladera Resort, located on the ridgeline of the volcano. There's also a resort and spa, and there's tons of beaches all throughout it. Some of them is covered in the black volcanic sand that makes it very famous. Tourism is a big deal. Agriculture, the main contributor of agriculture is bananas. And just like much of the Caribbean in this area, cricket is the most popular sport on the island, as they play in the West Indies regional tournament as well and be part of the West Indies team as well. We'll be flying through near its capital and largest city of Castries. We'll be getting near there soon. Which is its capital, largest city, around 20,000 people. It was actually on a floodplain, and it was built on reclaimed land from the sea. It housed the city government, and many businesses are come here in the island. And is the birthplace of Sir William Arthur Lewis, the winner of the 1979 Nobel Memorial Prize in Economics, and Derek Walcott, who won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1992. And you can find all sorts of landmarks, including the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, located here in the place. So that is the capital. Mia Casa, she's called after Helen because she was all contested. Yes, if you ever read the Homer's the Iliad, I believe, the Iliad covered about, which was the Battle of Troy. Helen was coveted, so the Prince of Troy took her. So here is Castries, I believe. Yeah, I think that is. So this is Castries. This is the capital and largest city in the island. Actually, no, that's not it. It's actually, yeah, dead ahead of us is Castries, which is further ahead here in St. Lucia. So Castries is just further ahead. It's just dead ahead of us. It's also got home to its own airport, George F.L. Charles Airport, Tango Lima Papa Charlie. That's not the one we're going to be flying over, but it is one of the two main airports in the island. It's been open here since 1941, but mainly did a lot of airline service at the time, with turboprops mainly. And previously had jet services with Douglas Indy DC-9s. They did they did planes like the BAE 146 and even planes as big as the MD-80s. However, all of it's moved to a bigger airport, Hewananoora Airport, which is the main international airport, and this is where most of the bigger planes can fly here, like the 747, A330, A4, A340, and 777 actually fly here to this airport. This is for international travel. The other airport is for Caribbean travel. You got it right. The airport is a landmark. Absolutely. Just stretch a little. There is St. Lucia. But man, what a beautiful day for flying here. So next Friday, if you guys want to know what I'm doing next Friday stream, so next Friday I'll be showing off the Antonov AN2, and I'm planning on doing some bush flying. I'm actually planning on doing some bush flying around Eastern Europe. If you guys don't know about the good old Antonov AN2, it is, which is one of the famous workhorses of the Soviet Union back in the day. Since the 1940s, it's been a workhorse. And I'm planning on doing this across across the Caucasus. So we'll be doing some flying from Georgia to Armenia. Basically, we'll be doing some flights around the Caucasus because they got some really cool areas to fly around the area for sure. Yeah, on the AN9, yeah, AN2. I think I'm doing the Caucasus flight. You got it. St. Lucia is a honeymoon destination. Oh, absolutely. St. Lucia is a huge. Actually, here's an interesting St. Lucia fact that I think about St. Lucia. Here's a fun fact about this island that I think a lot of people need to know. One of the cool things about St. Lucia is it's actually home to the most expensive hotel. It's home to one of the most expensive hotels in the world. Known as Lover's Deep Sanctuary here in St. Lucia. And you guys want to know how much money they spent for a night underneath the submarine? It's gonna break the bank because it's gonna be $175,000 a night in the submarine. $175,000. $175K for a room down in an underwater hotel in a submarine. I actually kid you not. Let me show you. Let me give you the link. Yes. You can spend one night in an underwater hotel in a submarine for $175,000. I mean, that's just crazy. So there's Heilongjiang International right in front of us. Let's check our fuel situation. Okay, 46. 46. So 46, we're still got plenty of gas left. We got 38 nautical miles to go, so we got one more island in the Caribbean we're going to be visiting. We're going to be turning right, and we're going to be visiting the island of St. Vincent, which is right in front of us. So St. Vincent is So St. Vincent is the large island of part of the St. Vincent in the Grenadines. It's the largest island in that country, and it's composed of partially submerged volcanic mountains, including its country's highest peak of La Soufriere, which is still active, by the way. But the island used to be part of both French and then the British. But it's home to some pretty unique biodiversity and home to endemic birds like the lesser Antillean tanager, the whistling warbler, and the St. Vincent Amazon bird, which is the St. Vincent parrot. And of course, St. Vincent was actually one of the filming locations for the Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines is actually a country. It's got a whole bunch of islands into it, and that's why it's. And that's because is the Grenadines is basically the whole group of islands you can find all over the place. Last fact, Driving Volcano. Yes, the Driving Volcano is true here in St. Lucia. Oh, I forgot to put one airport. So, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, there's the big island of St. Vincent, and all the little chain of islands below is the Grenadines. So and the Grenadines are basically a whole bunch of islands. The island is a lot of it's based off of agriculture, mainly with forest industry and stuff. Tourism is a big deal, mainly with the help of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And there are quite a few notable people of St. Vincent, Vincian descent. They include rapper 21 Savage from Atlanta, who enjoyed international fame. Reggae singer Judy Bosher. Footballer Jesse Lingard, who plays for Nottingham Forest for the Premier League. Jesse Lingard. And finally, in NCAA and WNBA All-Star Sophia Young are all people from people who live in the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is their descent. So yeah, these are some pretty famous people as well. So the airport we're visiting today is Argyle. This is our final stop. Is at Argyle International Airport, Tango Victor Sierra Alpha. It is the largest of the 5 airports in this nation. Yes, there are 5 of them because many of these islands have airports. And they do lots of international flights, not only across the Caribbean, but they also do international, including London and Toronto. All do flights. So we're getting pretty close to landing here as well. Let's make one final prediction for today. Here it is. So we got one final prediction, and that is because we got one more landing coming up. So here it is, the island of St. Vincent, right in front of us. The capital of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is Kingston, population of 12,000 people. It's the most populous settlement in the country. Very important for a lot of tourists. And it was founded by French settlers in 1722. and it has one of the oldest botanical gardens in the Western Hemisphere that was conceived back in 1765. And you can also visit Fort Charlotte as well on the north side of the town. So. So yeah, that's all the stuff for today, for all the information. So here is our international airport. It's dead ahead of us. 15 nautical miles to go. So before we land, I want to say thank you everyone for coming along on today's stream. A great way to kick off the weekend. I mean, it's a massive thank you for everyone here for joining me on this Friday stream. Can't wait to do, I can't wait for Sunday's stream as well. We got some big stuff coming ahead on Sunday's stream. Gonna be a big DC-3 flight. From Singapore to Kota Kinabalu, we're gonna be flying over there. So we got a couple of predictions. They're all pretty similar, so we're going to see which one of us is getting closer. I'm going to descend to 1,500 feet. Descend, going to load the power a little bit. Yeah, there's our airport. Pretty nice in a straight line, for sure. Thanks. Hey, good to see you, Winterband. Winterband1, good to see you. First time chat. Good to see you, Winterband. So yeah, we got all the predictions here. What a great trip. So we're going to go ahead and get things ready for the landing. And we got a little bit more landing. Here we go, guys. Our landing. Welcome to Argyle International. And Papa Mish, good to see you. First time chat for Papa Mish as well. First time chat. Let's see which one of us is going to get the closest. Beautiful. That's a perfect landing. Good to see you, Papa Mish. Thank you for coming on in. Martel won the land prediction. Nice. Great work, everyone. That was a beautiful land. So welcome to St. Vincent, everyone. And this is actually going to be the end for today's stream. We're right about the end. So we're just going to get this thing parked and turn the engines off. But man, what a beautiful flight over the Caribbean. It's, like I said, it's a great region for me. Hey, good to see you. Sup? It's good to see you too, Hacks. I was almost there. Almost. Devil, dude. But Martel was closer, though, by -7. So, guys, thank you so much for today's stream. That was a fantastic flight. If I gotta say so myself. What a beautiful trip, man. What a perfect way to end a beautiful flight today. So welcome to St. Vincent, everyone. We had a great vacation trip here in the Caribbean. So a big thank you for Simon for flying along with me today. So guys, this is it. But before we get off, I want to tell you about my next couple streams. Sunday, we'll be back at 1400 Zulu. We're going to be taking off from Singapore Seletar Airport in our DC-3, and we're going to be heading our way over to Kota Kinabalu in Malaysia. That will be on Sunday. Next Wednesday, we'll be back with another airliner flight. We're going to be doing my first ever Firefly Air achievement that I created from Tampa to New York LaGuardia in the 737 800. And then on next Friday, we'll be back in the Caucasus in Asia. We'll be flying from Georgia all the way to Armenia, to Yerevan, in the Antonov AN2. So guys, thank you so much for coming here today. We're gonna go ahead and set up a raid. Let's see who I should pick for today. Oh, I think I know who we should pick for a raid. We're gonna raid a good friend of mine, B-Mint. We're gonna raid B-Mint's channel, guys. We're gonna raid B-Mint's channel, guys. So thank you guys so much for today's stream. You guys are very appreciated, and I hope to see you all again on Sunday, guys. Take care, everyone, and have a fantastic start to your weekend. Bye.